You guys remember President of Harvard, Claudine Gay?
Ms. Stefanik, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Dr. Gay, a Harvard student calling for the mass murder of African Americans is not protected free speech at Harvard, correct?
Our commitment to free speech...
It's a yes or no question. Is that corrected? Is that okay for students to call for the mass murder of African Americans at Harvard? Is that protected free speech?
Our commitment to free speech
It's a yes or no question. Let me ask you this. You are president of Harvard, so I assume you're familiar with the term intifada, correct?
I've heard that term, yes.
And you understand that the use of the term intifada in the context of the Israeli-Arab conflict is indeed a call for violent armed resistance against the state of Israel, including violence against civilians and the genocide of Jews. Are you aware of that?
That type of hateful speech is personally abhorrent to me.
And there have been multiple marches at Harvard with students chanting, quote, "There is only one solution, intifada revolution," and, quote, "globalize the intifada." Is that correct?
I've heard that thoughtless, reckless, and hateful language on our campus, yes.
So based upon your testimony, you understand that this call for intifada is to commit genocide against the Jewish people in Israel and globally, correct?
I will say again, that type of hateful speech is personally abhorrent to me.
Do you believe that type of hateful speech is contrary to Harvard's code of conduct, or is it allowed at Harvard?
It is at odds with the values of Harvard.
Can you not say here that it is against the code of conduct at Harvard?
We embrace a commitment to free expression, even of views that are objectionable, offensive, hateful. It's when that speech crosses into conduct that violates our policies against bullying, harassment,
Does that speech not cross that barrier? Does that speech not call for the genocide of Jews and the elimination of Israel?
When
you testify that you understand that is the definition of intifada. Is that speech according to the code of conduct or not?
We embrace a commitment to free expression and give a wide berth to free expression, even of views that are objectionable.
You and I both know that's not the case. You are aware that Harvard ranked dead last when it came to free speech. Are you not aware of that report?
As I observed earlier, I reject that characterization.
It's the data shows it's true.
Now, after that explosive congressional hearing, including Claudine Gay and presidents of 2 other universities, UPenn and MIT, she received so much backlash, forgetting about all the Jewish donors that are alumni for university, very prestigious, the pinnacle of American education, Harvard. And many of them threatened to remove their endowments, some of them worth in the range of $1 billion or more. Because of that, let's go ahead and see what the ramifications of her words and actions have been.
Harvard University's embattled president has resigned. The move follows Claudine Gay's congressional testimony last month on anti-Semitism on campus and allegations of plagiarism. She's been under intense criticism and is leaving after the shortest tenure in the school's history. National political correspondent Alex Miller is live from New York. Alex, tell us more about Gay's decision. What all do we know?
Well, the letter was a little bit confusing, but because she didn't say exactly why she is resigning, whether it's because of these plagiarism allegations or because of her handling of that congressional hearing and her handling of the anti-Semitism on Harvard's campus. Now, looking at those plagiarism allegations, there have been more than a dozen leveled against her, including her PhD dissertation and 2 articles that she published. She's already made 7 corrections. Now, as you mentioned, she's only been on the job a couple of months now, and this makes her the shortest tenure of any president at Harvard. Initially, the Harvard editorial board had said that they were concerned about these allegations of plagiarism, but they didn't think that it amounted to the call for a a resignation. And the board had also stood behind her, but something must have changed in recent days that led to this resignation. Now, I want to look at this letter itself. She said that she consulted with the Harvard board on this, and that's why she ultimately made the decision. In the letter, there is no mention of anti-Semitism on campus, of the Jewish community, or of the plagiarism allegations. I want to read you just a little part of it. She says, amidst of all of this, it has been distressing to have doubt cast on my commitments to confronting hate and to upholding scholarly rigor, two bedrock values that are fundamental to who I am, and frightening to be subjected to personal attacks and threats fueled by racial animus. She said there is a lot more work to be done on Harvard's campus to combat bias and hate, but again, not really giving a specific reason as to why she is leaving.
Unfortunately, it's because she still doesn't apologize and she still hasn't understood the position of those who oppose what she stated or the lack thereof. She's only apologizing because she has to step down from, once again, the pinnacle of American institutions, Harvard. If you were to ask her to defend her position when it came to students chanting about Intifada from the river to the sea, she would hold the same position. She would allow them under what she claimed to be freedom of expression. But as you saw during the congressional hearing, she was very specifically asked, is this not harmful rhetoric towards your Jewish student population? And she gave a canned answer, but now she's eating her words.
Alex, let's talk about Harvard just a bit. They've lost donors. They've been criticized lately. A lot of people have been asking, what's going to happen to this president? Now we know that she's resigning. What is next for this university, and how are they talking about moving forward from this?
It's interesting. I read the letter that Harvard's board put out after Claudine Gay put out her resignation letter. First of all, she is sticking around at Harvard's campus. She's still going to work there. She's just not going to be president. They are having Alan Gerber, who is the provost and chief academic officer. He's been there for years. He is going to step in. He's an economist, a doctor. He's worked at numerous schools within Harvard. And so he's going to work as interim president. They didn't say they were going to begin their search for a new president right away. They stood by Gay even in this resignation.
They still stood by her even throughout this resignation. So if this was any other university president, she would have been long gone, packing out of town. But this is just an indication to allow people to see just how progressive and far left our American educational system has gone, that even through something as disgusting as what she failed to do, they're still standing by her and allowing her to work on campus in another position. So it's not about the students. The students still have to see her. There are students who are Jewish who had to watch that. And if you guys did not see the reports, they were like flying banners speaking about their university being anti-Semitic, their president not supporting Jewish students. Somebody rented out a plane to fly a banner over the campus. Like, that's how serious it was. These students still have to see her because they're protecting her. She should have been gone. There was a very specific answer, and that was, we don't accept racism of any kind. We don't accept calls of violence of any kind on our campus. Those should have been her responses. She chose to play the middle ground.
Letter saying that they appreciated the work that she's done, and effectively it seems as though they didn't want her to resign. Again, they had supported her throughout this entire process, even though we had seen lots of pressure. Obviously, UPenn's president resigned, and other pressure on other college faculty across the country. But Harvard seems to be taking a little bit of a beat right now before they decide who is going to lead the university next. Obviously, a big task for whoever that is going to be.
Alex Miller, live in New York. Alex, many thanks.
And right below where it states personal news, it is with a heavy heart, but a deep love for Harvard that I write to share that I will be stepping down as president. January 2nd, 2024. This is not a decision I came to easily. Indeed, it has been difficult beyond words because I have looked forward to working with so many of you to advance the commitment to academic excellence that has propelled this great university across centuries. But after consultation with members of the corporation, it has become clear that it is in the best interest of Harvard for me to resign so that our community can navigate this moment of extraordinary challenge with a focus on the institution rather than any individual. Of course, it states that after consultation with members of the corporation. So when the news reporters cited that a lot of her cohorts did not want her to leave, yeah, that's cool. That's because they're all part of the Progressive Educational Brigade. But the people that matter, the top dogs that run everything, that deal with endowments and donation dollars, they're the ones who are saying it's best for the university that we continue to focus on our brand and not have you be the chink in the armor. Let's go ahead. It is a singular honor to be a member of this university, which has been my home and my inspiration for most of my professional career. My deep sense of connection to Harvard and its people has made it all the more painful to witness the tension and divisions that have riven our community in recent months, weakening the bonds of trust and reciprocity that should be our source of strength and support in times of crisis. Amidst all of this, it has been distressing to have doubt cast on my commitments to confronting hate and to upholding scholarly rigor, two bedrock values that are fundamental to who I am, and frightening to be subjected to personal attacks and threats fueled by racial animus. I believe in the people of Harvard because I see in you the possibility and the promise of a better future. Well, guess what, Claudine Gay? They do not believe in you. From the top to the bottom, they do not believe in you. And it's in the best interest of the students that you're gone. These last weeks have helped make clear the work we need to do to build that future, to combat bias and hate in all its forms, to create a learning environment in which we respect each other's dignity and treat one another with compassion. That's exactly the reason why you're gone, because you did not combat bias and hate. You did it in front of the world. You failed to do it. You were asked, during the congressional hearing, you were asked in different ways. They asked you the same question multiple times in different ways. They try to repackage it because maybe, just maybe, you were failing to understand the question. Just maybe. And you still failed. And it's not about you, Penn's president. It's not about MIT's president. It's about you, because you're the one stepping down. You're the one that faced the most backlash. Because it's Harvard, it matters. And if you don't understand this, that it makes perfect sense to why your apology statement lacks any specifics regarding how you made the Jewish community feel. To create a learning environment in which we respect each other's dignity and treat one another with compassion, and to affirm our enduring commitment to open inquiry and free expression in the pursuit of truth. I believe we have within us all that we need to heal from this period of tension and division and to emerge stronger. I had hope with all my heart to lead us on that journey in partnership with all of you as I now return to the faculty and to the scholarship and teaching that are the lifeblood of what we do. I pledge to continue working alongside you to build the community we deserve. So not only is she not leaving the campus, she's returning as a faculty member to begin teaching once again. The very students that were let down, that were hurt, and were confused based on your responses during the congressional hearing now have to attend classes with you in order to graduate. You can't make this up. Because there's no specific apology to how you let down the Jewish community, you shouldn't be on faculty. They should not be subject to your face in the classroom that they need to get their degree so they can leave. Now, if we're talking about privilege, this is privilege. When I became president, I considered myself particularly blessed with the opportunity to serve people from around the world who saw in my presidency a vision of Harvard that affirmed their sense of belonging, their sense that Harvard welcomes people of talent and promise from every background imaginable to learn from and grow with one another. To all of you, please know that the doors remain open and Harvard will be stronger and better because they do. As we welcome a new year and a new semester, I hope we can all look forward to brighter days. Sad as I am setting this message, my hopes for Harvard remain undimmed. When my brief presidency is remembered, I hope it will be seen as a moment of reawakening to the importance of striving to find our common humanity and of not allowing rancor and vituperation to undermine the vital process of education. I trust we will all find ways in this time of intense challenge and controversy to recommit ourselves to the excellence, the openness, and the independence that are crucial to what our university stands for and to our capacity to serve the world. Sincerely, Claudine Gay. We want to see you leave. With that being said, you guys let me know your thoughts, because this is insane. This is absolutely insane. I just want to get my degree and get out of this place. I didn't know Harvard was like this. I want to get my degree and go. But my senior seminar class is taught by Mrs. Claudine Gay. Now imagine how that student feels. I don't want to see you. I remember what you said. It was blasted all over international news. I don't want to see you. They're showing their hand. They're revealing their cards. With that being said, you guys let me know. Was this a great decision by Harvard? How do you guys think they should have handled this? Because in my opinion, I think she should be gone completely off campus. There shouldn't be a remnant left behind. But go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Deuces.